everybody. Well, we are going to look at the Conan Exiles trailer for the coming age of sorcery in Conan Exiles. There are going to be so many changes. It's exciting and scary at the same time. But let's go ahead and watch the trailer and see for yourselves what they're going to bring to the table to keep this game alive and relevant for people who are still playing it after all these years.
3.0 is probably the biggest update we've ever made.
It touches almost every aspect of Conan Exiles.
Fans should absolutely be excited for 3.0. It is a major patch. It includes sorcery,
sword and sorcery. This is the other half of the genre that's been missing.
On top of that, we've got updates to the building system.
It's going to have a battle pass, perks and attributes revamp,
and shop as well, called the Black Lotus Bazaar.
I love that new graphic right there.
Sorcery is absolutely imperative to the world of Conan. When the genre was having its name coined, it literally became half of the name, sword and sorcery.
We've always wanted to add sorcery to the game, but we think it's a part of the game that needs to be there to experience Howard's world in full.
A lot of other games are high fantasy games, and they focus a lot on fireballs and things that you can see coming out of your hands.
We wanted to find a way to make it feel more kind of physically grounded, sinister and evil. It's more about focusing and amplifying sorceress energy.
And as you select different words of power, you'll be building different spells.
Sorcery is broken up into two different parts. There's rituals and spells. Rituals are more kind of the crafting side of it, where you perform some kind of magical or sorcerous ritual at a crafting station at your base in order to make something, build something.
In your base, you'll build a sacrificial stone. You'll drag an unconscious combatant and put them on the stone, and there will be a ritual recipe in that crafting station to offer them as a sacrifice. Perform a ritual, draw their blood, and then the station will open up again and you can take the item out.
Tons of different rituals. Necromancy, for instance, allows you to summon the dead or create undead mounts.
A couple other rituals we have are integrated into the fast travel system that we're implementing. So we have one that's kind of a set of teleporter pads, and you'll need some blood and some brimstone to fire that pad up.
Illusions basically allow you to take weapon or a piece of armor and apply a different look to it. So if you're able to craft two different pieces and you like the look of one but the stats of another, you can apply the look of one to the other. So it allows players to look how they want without sacrificing the stats that they want to have with their equipment.
It's been many, many years that we have been waiting for sorcery. They showed it in the preview of the early access videos, and then they had never brought it out since then. And every time we asked them about it, they were very quiet, or they would skip around it and all this sort of stuff. But now they're actually bringing it to the table to the players. Wonderful. I'm so happy that this is going to happen. It's going to take some tweaking, though. I'm pretty sure that some of these sound like they're going to be pretty OP. So like they said, there are two methods of doing sorcery. There's rituals, which involve the crafting station. There's spells that you learn words of power as you play the game. So you'll pick up like fragments of something or parchment and learn a word of power. And then you put your spell together based on the words of things that you know. So it's a little progressive that way, which I'm really excited about. There were a lot of interesting spells that I noticed during the live stream. So as you saw in the beginning, there was a flying bat carrying somebody. That is a spell. There are visible side effects to the character. So they'll become gaunt and pale, and veins will stand out with blackened blood. So they're very corrupt. And that's part of the corruption system that they will talk about in a few minutes. So some of the other spells that I saw on live stream were darkness. And that's where you get an area of darkness And inside that darkness is spider webs to slow people down. Sounds very familiar to me as a fan of the Drow from D&D. There's invisibility, and I have questions about that. I'm not too keen on invisibility in a game like this, but we'll see how far that goes. Lightning Storm, Call of the Dead, which summons a fog. And these are major environmental spells, and you can only have one of them in the area. You might have seen briefly that there was somebody running across what appeared to be an ice bridge, but he was in the desert. That was also a spell. There's also a spell that can detect resources, so when you cast the spell in the area, you'll be able to see the outlines of harvestable plants and minerals and such. You can have undead followers. They will decay over time before they kind of die and go away. And then you can have some other followers as well, like probably some monsters and stuff. And those can follow you. You can have up to 4 of those. Now, somebody brought up the question of the current lore in the game is that you can't cast magic because you're wearing an exiled bracelet, which was created by the ancient people to keep you there and not let you cross the border, the boundary. But they explain that there is a new shadowy figure in the exiled lands who has found a way to use magic despite the bracelets. And we're going to learn how to do that as well. So that is kind of what I had to say about that. The weapon illusions and the armor illusions look really good. So let's move on to the next topic.
We've also wanted to go through and address all of the perks that we felt were sort of underperforming and sort of give them a facelift.
Essentially, we've blown up the entire system and made a new meta. We have some great surprises, and we were really changing the way that Conan Exiles plays on all of the attributes.
Corruption is a core part of sorcery, so we wanted that to also impact the attribute system. When your character is exposed to corruption, it'll corrupt their form and their whole physical being. With that power, you can corrupt your physical self in order to gain access to special perks. Once you've reached a certain corruption threshold, your character will be able to corrupt their strength, their vitality, or their charisma into improving themselves. These benefits won't show themselves very powerful at first, but as you devote yourself...
I'm going to stop here because by the time they had the live stream, they had already said that the names of the attributes have changed since this video was filmed. So just so you know, the names of the attributes and probably even the spells, all of this is still subject to change. It's all a work in progress. Let's continue.
More into the void, they'll start showing up and making you more and more powerful.
So that is all very good information. They did say that for the attributes, they will reset every single person's attributes. I'm not sure if that covers the private servers, but it certainly does cover all the public servers. And it does look like a simpler way of doing attributes, so we'll see how that goes. They're more combined as to what those attributes can do for you. It's a more condensed system. Now let's go on to the new building system. This also has some very nice features coming.
When we first started working on the game, we implemented the building system in a particular way.
But since then, a lot more survival games have come out that have made us realize, hey, we can do a little bit better.
Truthfully, I think the old building system was a little difficult to use with the gamepad. However, with this new system, it's designed to be used with the gamepad, and I think it's going to be so much easier for people.
Look at those
takes
windows.
all the crafting recipes, all the building items that you've unlocked, and puts them all in one menu.
You can go to the section you want, find the piece you want, and it's a lot simpler.
The creative mode is incredible. You get this admin panel, it unlocks all the building pieces, and you can create your perfect home or castle or fortress.
A fundamental change in how you can build in the game.
It'll be really, really easy, I think, for people to build their perfect home.
Okay, so before we move on to the controversial Battle Pass and in-game store, let's talk about the building system. So they did design it more to be friendly with the controller, which will help people who are playing this game on their consoles. I like the way it sounds. I'm not sure how this creative mode works on a private server. I'm not sure if they can block it or how it's going to work. We'll find out. All of this is going to go on to the test live before they send it out to the rest of us. So I would encourage people who have Test Live installed to please go ahead and test all of this stuff when they put it on those servers, because these are major changes. And I'm sure that they will welcome the feedback. At least they should. If they don't, but I think they do. They do listen to the community. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty excited about this. It all looks great. I love the pieces that I saw. It's awesome. Now for the Battle Pass and in-game store. So watch this section. I do have some things to kind of add some information to this stuff once we get through this section.
Some building pieces are part of the Battle Pass and others are going to be in the shop. In the Battle Pass, we have Sorcery themed building pieces which are built to complement and supplement the existing base building sets.
The main reason we're doing the Battle Pass is so that we can continue to release free features. I'm a strong believer that monetization should be more on the cosmetic side.
Okay, I'm going to pause right here because here is some of the rewards from the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is set up to be like a set of challenges, and you complete the challenges and you'll get these different rewards through the Battle Pass. I want you to look right here. This is a coin reward. This is the Crom coin reward. And one of the extra things that I learned through the live stream was that they are going to make it so that there's sort of a freemium way to do the Battle Pass. If you buy the Battle Pass one time, complete all the challenges, get these coin rewards, by the time you get to
Changing the way
by the time you get to the last level, you will have earned back in Crom coins the amount you spent on that Battle Pass. And then you can use those Crom coins to buy the next Battle Pass. So if you don't spend those Crom coins anywhere else on anything else in the store, you can perpetually generate a Battle Pass with one purchase.
Look necessarily not changing the power of things.
So the Battle Pass, you're going to get some really cool things.
New armors, weapons, mounts that are all built around the Sorcery theme.
There are two ways to progress through the Battle Pass, and the first is to play the game. Every day you'll be given a series of challenges, and when you complete one of those challenges, you claim the experience from it, and then that challenge is replaced with another one. If you don't want to play to unlock everything in the Battle Pass, you can also purchase levels in increments of 1, 5, and 15. So for those of you who have less time, that option is there as well.
So we won't have cosmetic DLCs like we did in the past with the culture packs. We will have battle passes and ages instead.
We are going to have multiple sorcerer-themed armor and clothing options. Some of them will be in-game and craftable. Others will be offered as part of the Battle Pass or as part of the shop.
We're also adding an item store to the game, and this will allow players to have more of an a-la-carte option for what they want to buy.
It's been a
Okay, so now they're going to go on and on about how wonderful and how long it's been since we've been wanting sorcery. So that's pretty much basically a very short and sweet summary of what they are going to be doing. I did learn also about the Battle Pass is that 12 out of the 61 items that are offered in the Battle Pass are for free. So as long as you play the game and complete challenges and earn levels in those challenges, you can get 12 of those items for free, which is pretty generous of them. It's just so that people can choose to pay them and help support the development of game and pay some paychecks and all this stuff by using the Battle Pass system and purchasing it. But also, keeping most of the things that they're offering, a lot of the major updates that they're doing, like right now, free for everybody. So 12 of those items are free, and you can also purchase levels. They mentioned that in the video. So if you don't have time to do your challenges and you need to get caught up, you can purchase different levels.
A long time coming, making Sorcery.
With each new release of Conan Exiles, we're trying to make the kind of game that we feel like our players want to play and that we want to play.
So if you want to see more of this, definitely follow our Conan Exiles Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that.
Thank you all for all of your support and for playing our game and enjoying it.
And I hope all of you have a great time exploring the world and finding the things to do those dark evil rituals and become the twisted sorcerer atop a tower.
Okay, so I think that is pretty much the end of the video. Tell me what you think about it. I'm excited for the sorcery. I think it's going to break a lot of things, but I think in the long run it's going to be a good change for everyone, not just people who play on modded servers. I play on modded servers all the time. I've been playing with modded sorcery for the last few years. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the table for the base game. And it'll be interesting to see how the owners of the private servers will treat the base game sorcery, because it looks like from the start it's going to be very powerful. The changes to the buildings, I did glean from the live stream that the tier 2 buildings will be sturdier, have more health, so that people don't all have to get to tier 3 in order to defend themselves. They could start defending themselves pretty well with a tier 2 building. So that's pretty nice. They also mentioned that on occasions there may be some sales on items in that cash shop, but probably not right at first. All we can do is now wait and find out what is going to happen. Wait for the reports from the test live from people who are playing it and learning about it. I may actually install Test Live this time because I want to know about it as soon as I can, and I kind of want to experience it in a vanilla game kind of way, so I know what the developers meant or what they intended when they create these systems. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, goodbye.